Welcome back to 15 Lanes Talk Game Week for review show. We are going to talk about the derby drama, the red cards, the goals, and the instant impact of new players. Let's go. Let's start with Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. It was the early kickoff of Game Week 4, and Arsenal had to get back to the winning ways where they won 3-0 comfortably. All goals were scored by new signings. Victor Gyökeres with one, and Martin Zubimendi, who was the man of the match, also scored 2 goals. And the biggest talking points here, some of the biggest talking points are Arsenal started with a new front three. All the guys who started in this game were new signing. Eze on the left, Victor Gyökeres in the middle, and Noni Madueke on the right. In this game, we saw Eze had a decent game. He provided an assist to Victor Gyökeres, a one-touch assist. Victor Gyökeres with the goal. Another talking point is Martin Odegaard left the pitch with an injury, so we are still waiting to see how long they are going to announce the length of his injury. But the biggest talking point every Arsenal fan was talking about is Noni Madueke. And in my opinion, I've come to address this issue about Noni Madueke. Yes, Noni Madueke had a field day in that game. And some Arsenal fans are saying they are sorry. They are asking for forgiveness why they treated Noni Madueke the way they treated him when Arsenal wanted to sign him from Chelsea. Noni Madueke's performance is a smoke screen. To me, it's a smoke screen. Because if you have been watching Chelsea games, Noni Madueke has been doing this. You understand? If you watched him against Arsenal versus PSV, he did the same thing. It's easy for him to take on players. What I saw in this game, what Noni Madueke did, he was just entertaining himself. He's like players like Amrabat in QPR, Hatim Ben Arfa when he was in Newcastle, they all did the same thing. Gavinho was there in Arsenal doing the same thing. They are good at taking on players. What's the end product? Noni Madueke in this game had like 4 poor decision-making situations where he delayed with the ball, he delayed to release the ball, and the defenders came back and covered. Yes, he had beaten his man, but he took long to release the ball. Most people are not talking about his poor decision-making. For me, I want a player who is good at decision-making. No, because football is a game of decision-making. At the end of the day, whether you know how to dribble, whether you know how to do what, but if your decision making is poor, if you don't know when to release the ball, when to release the ball, when to dribble, when to do what, you won't be a good player unless you play to entertain yourself. There are those players who just play to entertain themselves. He will dodge a defender, does the same, but still waits for the defender to come back and recover. So Noni Madueke played real good in this game, but he was taking long to release the ball and the defenders would come back and cover. Yes, and that's it. People have to address this. You have to talk about this. Stop asking for forgiveness until you see the guy has improved on his decision making. When he was in Chelsea, he scored 3 goals against Wolves. And it took him like 4 months to score again. You understand? And yet he was starting matches. His consistency is not up there. As for forgiveness, if you see the consistency, when Arsenal signed Willian from Chelsea, his first game against Fulham, he provided 2 assists. All Arsenal people were like, Chelsea, blah, how could you leave Willian to leave? But the rest is history. Since that game of Fulham, the guy played shit in the rest of the game. So right now, let's take step by step. Yeah, Noni Madueke had a field day in that game, but he had also poor decision makings. He was playing with the ball for a very long time, and Victor Gyökeres is not the player. The striker right now Arsenal has is a killer. You have to just put the ball in space. So the longer you hold on to the ball, the easier you make it for defenders to recover. Because if you beat the defender, football is about disorganizing people's defense. If you take on the defender and the defense is disorganized, which means you have to release the ball very quick. The longer you hold on to the ball, the easier the defenders are coming back to recover, so it will be very hard to score. Let's go to Eze's goal. Eze's assist to Victor Gyökeres. Calafiori over the top. The ball go to Eze. What did Eze do? One touch. But if it was Donny Madueke, trust me, in that situation, he was going to control that ball. He would want to use 2 touches. But when the ball dropped to Eze, he knew what to do. One touch. Simple. Liverpool 1, Burnley 0. Liverpool has maintained its perfect start, 4 out of 4. But the biggest talking points here are Liverpool, even though they have won 4 out of 4 games this season, they are struggling. We have to accept the money they have spent, they are struggling to win games. Bournemouth game, they struggled. Newcastle, they struggled. Even against Arsenal, they struggled. They just needed that miracle from Szoboszlai. That wonder strike is the one that settled. And yesterday against 10-man Burnley, they needed a penalty to win the game. We know they signed Isak. Is a good addition. We don't know. For me, I know Isak may end up being like Andy Carroll, because all the deals that have been happening between Newcastle and Liverpool, players become injury prone from nowhere, and we know the record of Isak at Newcastle has been an injury prone. But since here they have Isak and Ekitike, which means there may be rotation, they will try to manage him maybe. But apart from that, for me, I see another Andy Carroll, which is going to be about consistency because of his injury background, not his performance. But I'm concerned about the injuries. You understand? Because in football, availability is the best product. If you are not available, you are not helping the team. And still, Kakas, Vats, they are still struggling. You understand? Kakas and Vats, we saw them still struggling to adjust. Yeah, against Burnley, struggled. And the red also saved Liverpool. The red card of Ugo Cheke saved Liverpool. I don't think if these guys of Burnley never got that red card, Liverpool was going to get the pen. You understand? Maybe the game would have ended 0-0. Liverpool still struggling. And lastly, about Liverpool, maybe we may see, because Isak missed this first game, the game against Burnley, because of fitness issues. And are we going to see him in Champions League this week? Let's wait and see what's going to happen. But Liverpool, right now, they have a perfect start, 4 out of 4. But they are, for me, in my opinion, they have not convinced me. I've not seen anything. You understand? Or they have been figured out. Because most teams like Burnley, it's sat back. But Burnley sat back. But if you go and analyze the game of Newcastle and Bournemouth, they attacked Liverpool. Arsenal is the only team that never attacked Liverpool, because Mikel Arteta came to defend. Spurs versus West Ham. As I told you, Spurs had to get back to winning ways, and also West Ham had to keep the momentum of winning since they had won against Forest. So they came in this game when Graham Potter needs to keep that momentum of winning. But they were demolished by Tottenham Hotspur 3-0. Spurs back to the winning ways. And now the pressure is mounting on Graham Potter, because his next game may decide whether he will be sacked or not. You understand? Graham Potter. And yesterday we saw Xavi Simons making his debut. He really looked good in this game against West Ham. And in also the game of West Ham, Souček got a red card, which also affected West Ham, even though he got the red card when they are one down, but still, it affected them. West Ham have struggled this season a lot. Let's see what the future holds for Graham Potter. Is the pressure going to still mount and he will be sacked by the end of this month or October, because they have only 1 win out of 4 and they have suffered already 8 goals, because they scored 3 goals against Nottingham Forest, and yesterday Spurs also hammered them 3 goals, so the goals go back to -8. Chelsea versus Brentford, another London derby for Chelsea. It ended in a 2-2 draw. Yes, Chelsea, but the talking points here we will talk about Cole Palmer, who came back from injury and made an instant impact off the bench. Moses Caicedo, he has been looking good this season. He already has 2 goals for Chelsea. And also, man like Alejandro Garnacho also made his debut for Chelsea in this game against Brentford. Robert Sanchez kept Chelsea in the game by making some wonderful saves, but Chelsea's defense was awful. Yeah, also in this game, Chelsea made a lot of rotations. We saw Wesley Fofana coming in, starting there, and other players. So Chelsea, they still have to fix their defense issues, and their next game is against Manchester United next week. So let's see what's going to unfold. And this week we have Champions League football. Let's see, maybe the rotation was because of Champions League football this week for Chelsea. The Manchester derby, Manchester City back to winning ways after losing 2 games in a row. So they needed this game win. If they lost or they made a draw, it was going to be the first time for Pep Guardiola to go 3 games without a win, to be winless in 3 games in a row. In this game, we saw Phil Foden ending his goal drought and Haaland proving that he's him. Before the game, we saw Lindroyo saying he's not scared of Haaland, but Haaland put Manchester to bed. He even created a chance for Tinaji Reinders, which he ended up missing. Manchester City also in this game played counter-attacking football because of United's setup. Yes, we are going to talk about that United setup. We saw Manchester City playing counter-attack, beating United terribly, because in Manchester United's setup, it's man-to-man. The Haaland's goal, the 3rd goal, we saw all the United players were in Manchester City's half. And the rest was history when that through ball went to Haaland. If you go back, we saw Jeremy Doku even yesterday. He had a field day because of this formation of Manchester United. Jeremy Doku is a very average player, but yesterday he had a field day. And the debut of Donnarumma. Donnarumma made big saves in this game. He showed his class against Manchester United that, yeah, I'm Donnarumma, I'm here. That's it. If we go on the Manchester United side, Ruben Amorim made an interview saying it is his way or the highway. He's not changing anything. If Manchester United want change, they will have to change the man. And today, some news came out of Manchester United saying that the Manchester United hierarchy still believes in Ruben Amorim. He won't be sacked. But I don't think if this losing streak continues, or they will be patient with him, because the hierarchy said, yeah, we are good with him. So let's see if they keep losing, because their next game is Chelsea and their 3 games. They are very hard games. Next week they are going to play Chelsea, and Chelsea will look to get back to the winning ways. And Garnacho, they will be facing Garnacho. Garnacho will be willing to make a statement in this match. And one of the things, if Garnacho scores, we know he may kiss the Chelsea badge to send a clear message to Manchester United. But Bryan Mbeumo showed his class. He made Donnarumma work. By the way, Bryan Mbeumo is a good player. He made Donnarumma work very well. Yeah, he created some chances. But at the end of the day, they lost. And Kobe Mainoo, Ruben Amorim, benched Kobe Mainoo for Manuel Ugarte, and we saw Kobe Mainoo when Kobe Mainoo came on and played 20 minutes, made more tackles than Ugarte, who played the 70 minutes. I don't know what's the problem with Ruben Amorim, why he doesn't want to play Kobe Mainoo, but Ugarte, yes, we know Ugarte. United signed him for 60 million and he was your player in Sporting CP, but yeah, the guy is mid. He's a mid player. That's it. That's why Enrique let him go. He said, this is not my guy. And Bruno Fernandes, if Manchester United keep playing Bruno Fernandes in that 8 role, they are going to be hard. Because the guy he's an attacking player. He doesn't have the instincts of a defensive midfielder to play in that role. We saw the Foden goal. Most people are complaining that he let Foden leave, but yeah, he had to let Foden leave because he doesn't have instincts of defending players. Yes, he can't take on runs, blah blah. He can't check his blind side because his mind is not connected to defending. His mind is always attack, and he can't detect the game from the deep lying position like the Andre Pirlos, the Busquets. He can't detect the game from deep lying positions like Pogba. So Manchester United, Ruben Amorim sent to you a message. It is his way or the highway. Nothing is going to change.